Many of you may have used tools like Blue Prism, Decipher IDP, UiPath's document understanding, etc. to extract data from unstructured documents. These tools can be complex to set up and use. ChatGPT has been generating a lot of buzz in the market lately. As per its creators, ChatGPT is a powerful language model that can generate text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content, and answer your questions in an informative way. Considering this statement, can we expect ChatGPT to extract the data from unstructured documents? If yes, what was effort it takes? How much accurate were the results? The answer is yes. ChatGPT can extract data from unstructured documents with less effort and greater accuracy than traditional tools. Hi, this is Omala Nitish from TextWhat. I have a super interesting topic for this session, wherein we are going to utilize ChatGPT to read some semi or unstructured invoices and process them through Blue Prism. As part of this exercise, we will be working on Excel. We will receive invoices in Excel format. And it's worth noting that there are various available formats with the possibility of encountering others as well. ChatGPT. OpenAI's ChatGPT will be utilized to extract the required information from these Excel files. We will also learn how to construct ChatGPT prompts and evaluate the results. Postman. We will employ Postman to test the API for interacting with ChatGPT. This will involve performing tests to verify the accuracy of our configuration and ensure that we obtain the desired results. Blue Prism. We'll create a Blue Prism process that treats the invoices and efficiently handles them within the application called. Before proceeding with this exercise, make sure you have the following prerequisites in place. A ChatGPT account with enough credits to perform the required tasks. Postman client installed on your machine to facilitate API testing. The last one, Blue Prism installed and properly configured on your machine. As part of this exercise, we'll also build few prompts for extracting company name from a string. We'll provide a string to the ChatGPT and ask it to extract the company name from the string. In the second example, our expectation is going to be the same, but we'll ask the ChatGPT to provide us the result without adding any additional phrases to the output. The following examples are complex as our expectation from ChatGPT is to extract the invoice details from some unstructured invoices. The fourth example also deals with invoice data extraction, but the output should be in a tabular format. The final example also deals with invoice data extraction in a tabular format, along with some extra conditional requirements. Let's begin by navigating to ChatGPT on your browser. Enter your first prompt here as extract company name from I like TextWhat as they provide tutorials on very new and unique concepts. Then press send here. As you can see, ChatGPT has answered as based on the provided text, the company name is TextWhat. But what in case if you want to use only the company name in some other place? Is it necessary to add additional logic within Blue Prism to extract TextWhat from the result? No, it's not. Let's improve the prompt. Here, enter the prompt as extract only the company name from I like TextWhat as they provided tutorials on very new and unique concepts. Don't add any further messages to the output result and press send. As you can see, now we got only company name, that is TextWhat. Now we are done with testing a sample string. Let's try with more complicated prompts. I have several invoices with me. After a detailed observation, I have categorized these invoices into 4 different types, and several other formats are expected too. Type 1 has the customer number and its value in the same cell. Order amount and total price are same. Type 2. The customer number label and its value in different cells. There is no total price field. Instead, it has only order amount. Type 3. The position of order number and order amount are different when compared to the earlier two types. Type 4. It's a well-defined structure wherein all the details are available in a tabular format. Open any of the type 4 sample, press Ctrl A twice to select all the data from the sheet and copy it. Now switch to ChatGPT, type in the prompt as extract invoice details from, paste the data you copied from Excel and press send to execute the prompt. You can see all the invoice details extracted from the invoice string. Let's advance our prompt to return the result in a tabular format. Type in the prompt as extract invoice details from, paste the data you copied from Excel and put them in a text-based Excel format with column names as order number, product code, unit cost, quantity, customer number, priority. Press send to execute the prompt. It's amazing, right? Now we got the results in a tabular format. Let's open type 1 and type 2 invoices together for a close comparison. Type 1 has an extra field total price, whereas type 2 invoice has only order amount. There was a clear instruction from the business that they both are same and bot has to extract these values and store it separately, which means this value should not be part of the table we extracted earlier. To achieve this result, we need to modify our prompt. Copy the type 1 invoice data, switch back to the ChatGPT, key in your prompt as extract invoice details from, paste the data you copied from Excel and put them in a text-based Excel format with column names as order number, product code, unit cost, quantity, customer number, priority. Extract the total price separately as a string, considering the fields total price and order amount as same and press the send tab. You can see the table got extracted as it is, while there is an additional message that's giving the value of total price as we requested. With this, it's pretty clear that we can use ChatGPT to extract any data, structured or semi-structured or unstructured. It's even very simple to build the prompt. This is the power of ChatGPT. And the secret for getting the right output lies in building the correct prompt, as seen in the previous examples. Now that we have seen the functionality of ChatGPT, let's proceed with its API service. Like mentioned initially, we need Postman client installed on your machine to test the API service. If you don't have it installed, you can head over to the URL I mentioned in the video description to download and install. Once you are ready with Postman client, we need to generate the access token for ChatGPT. Open OpenAI platform URL on your browser. Sign in if asked for credentials. Click on the user account icon on your top right corner. Select View API keys from the options. This is where you can generate the API keys. Any existing API keys are visible here. Click Create New Secret Key button. Type in a name for your API token and click Create Secret Key button. This is your API key. Don't forget to save it somewhere as it's not possible to retrieve it again. Click Done. Open your Postman client. Click Collections. Click New and then click HTTP. Open the drop-down and select Post. Enter the URL as displayed on the video. Go to Authorizations tab, click Type drop-down and select Bearer token. Paste the API key that you copied from OpenAI platform. Go to Body tab, click on Raw. In the drop-down, select JSON. Enter the code as shown in the video. This is the language model that will be used by the ChatGPT for generating responses. We have different types of models like GPT, Davians, Babbage, etc. Role is used to identify the sender or recipients of a particular message. We have three types of roles: user, system, assistant. This is the prompt. A prompt is a specific input or question given to an AI language model to generate a continuation or a response. Temperature is a parameter that controls the randomness of the model's output. It ranges from 0 to 1. A higher value makes the response more diverse and creative. A lower value makes the response more focused and deterministic. Go to Headers tab. Click the hidden button here to show the hidden headers. Verify whether the value in the content type is application/JSON. If not, change it. Ideally, they should be populated automatically as we selected JSON in the body tab. Click Send. The status code 200 represents a success, while any other code represents failure in the API service due to any reason. You can see the output from ChatGPT here under Body tab. We have given a prompt as extract only the company name from I am working with TextWhat Labs without any words in the output content. And the output we got is TextWhat. Click Save to save the request for further use. Since the configuration on Postman is working correctly, let's proceed with the steps for consuming the API service in Blue Prism. Open your Blue Prism and create a new object to interact with ChatGPT API service. Create a new action and give its name as Create Chart Completion. Double-click the Start stage to open the action properties. Click on Add. Here give the name as Chart Prompt and set type to text. Give store in as Chart Prompt and click this button to create a data item. This becomes a start parameter for your action and allows you to pass the prompt dynamically as required. For testing, open this data item and set its initial value as extract company name from I like TextWhat as they provide very useful tutorials and click on OK. Drag a multi-calculation stage onto the designer panel and double-click to open its properties. We'll use these stages to set the properties that we need to pass into the API service. Give its name as API constants. Enter the expressions as presented on the video. Store this URL into API base URL. In API content type, give it as application/JSON. In API method, give it as post. In API accept, give it as application/JSON. In ChatGPT model, give it as GPT 3.5 Turbo. ChatGPT role, give it as user. In ChatGPT temperature, give the value as 0.7. Your multi-calculation properties window should look like this after adding all the mentioned expressions. We need the API token for this action to work. Let's add a credential to store this API key. On your Blue Prism main window, Navigate to System tab and then go to Credentials. Click New and type in a name as OpenAI underscore access token. Open the type drop-down and select bearer token. Copy the API token you generated from OpenAI platform in the previous steps and enter it here. Go to Access Rights tab. Select All Roles checkbox under Security Roles. Go to Processes tab and click the All Processes checkbox. Similarly, tick the All Resources checkbox under Resources tab. To reduce the complexity, I am enabling rights on all roles, processes, and resources. In a practical environment, this setting differs from organization to organization. So, feel free to set it as required. Click OK to save the credential. Switch back to your Object Studio. Drag an action stage. Double-click to open its properties. Select Credentials from the Business Object dropdown and select Get from the Action dropdown. In the Inputs tab, set the credential name as what you given for the credential storing the API token. Go to Outputs tab. Here enter API underscore key and click here to create a new data item for storing the API key. Drag a collection with name as API headers. Click Fields tab. Click Add. Type in the name as authorization and select the type as text. This column name is fixed. If you give anything else instead of authorization, the API service will not work. Tick the single row checkbox. Drag a calculation stage and give the expression as bearer space ampersand API key data item. While passing the API key to the API service action, it should be in a format as bearer API key. To achieve this, we are using these calculation stages. In the storing, type API headers.authorization. The API token, after appending, will directly be stored into the API headers collection. The final property for the API service is the payload. They should contain all the inputs for the API to work. Drag a data item with name as JSON payload template. Give its initial value as shown. We'll replace the values in model, role, prompt, and temperature with the data items we created earlier. Drag a calculation stage. Give its name as setJSON payload. Giving the store in data item as JSON payload. In the expression, use replace function to replace model from the JSON payload template with the value from ChatGPT model data item. Similarly, replace the value role with ChatGPT role, prompt with ChatGPT prompt, and temperature with ChatGPT temperature. We are passing the payload in JSON format. Please be aware that some characters are not supported by JSON format. Drag and drop an action stage and double click to open its properties. Under Business Object, select Utility HTTP. Under Action dropdown, select HTTP request. In the inputs, pass the address URL as API base URL. This is same as what we inputted on Postman. In body, give the JSON payload. This contains the main content of our request. Example, prompt, method, etc. API content type. This denotes the type of data we are going to work on. API method. This denotes the type of communication we want to have with the API service. Example, get, post, delete, etc. Headers. We have to pass the access token through this collection. API accept. This value in it will be same as the value in content type. Go to output and create two output data items with name as ChatGPT result and API result header and click OK. Connect all the stages. Double click on end stage to open its properties. Add the row given a name as ChatGPT result. Here drag and drop the ChatGPT result data item. Save the object. Now right click on start stage and click on set next stage and execute the flow. Once the execution is completed, check API result data item. It should hold the information you asked for. In my case, I got textbot as output. Double click information stays and tick this checkbox to publish our action. Our action is ready for usage in any Blue Prism processes. All we need to do is just call it using the action stays. As a final step, I'll show you a short demonstration of a process that works end to end. I have multiple Excel-based invoices, each having 4 distinct formats. Our goal is to extract information from all these invoice files. Here, I have created a small process utilizing the action that we created for interacting with ChatGPT. This action here will get the Excel files from the predefined folder into a collection. On top of this collection, we will run a loop. I am passing the path of each invoice Excel file as input to this space. This space contains the basic logic which will open the Excel, read the data from it into a collection and output it removing the empty rows. I am passing this collection as input to the extract invoice details page. This page contains the main ChatGPT action. As of now, we can't submit the Excel files directly to ChatGPT. Hence, we are using getCollection as CSV action to convert the collection. Now we need the prompt. I am using a calculation stage to build the final prompt. Here, please extract invoice details from is the instruction for achieving primary target. Invoice Excel CSV is the data item holding the invoice data in CSV format. The remaining sentences are also the other part of the prompt. We want the output in a JSON format and hence we have given the instruction as put them in JSON format. We also instructed to put fixed key names for each key label. While testing this process, I have faced two errors. The first one, I saw some new line characters in the CSV format we got from Excel invoices. Though this is not a problem for ChatGPT, these additional characters are breaking the JSON structure. Hence, I added a function to replace the new line characters. Second error is the output content we are getting from ChatGPT is having different data types. For example, for some invoices, quantity might be a number data type. For some invoices, it is of text data type. For the same label, multiple data types are coming. It's creating a problem in the workflow. Therefore, to avoid this problem, I added an extra instruction to the ChatGPT prompt as all the values should be of text data type. After adding this instruction, I got all the output data in a text data type. We have to use the casting function whenever you want to perform numerical actions on these values. Finally, this prompt I am passing as an input to the create chart completion action and it will give us the output in JSON format. Now to convert this JSON format, I have used JSON to collection action from utility JSON object. Let me open the collection and show you. As we can see, all the data got extracted in the collection. However, there are no invoice details available in this collection. The data extracted in ChatGPT will be available under the choices and messages and content. As you can see, content is having our invoice details in JSON format. So by using these collection states, I am extracting the content from the collection and passing this data item to JSON to collection action. This action will convert the JSON structure to a collection format. Now we got the required invoice details in invoice details collection. I have multiple invoices with me, so I added another collection with name as invoice details all files. This collection should store the invoice details of all the invoice files. This action, append rows to collection, will append the data from invoice details collection to invoice details all file, as the data in invoice details collection will be replaced on each iteration of the loop. Press Shift F11 to execute the remaining invoices. Open the collection invoice details all files. You can see the data in a structured format for all the 3 invoices I assigned. Here, if you observe, all the fields of the collection are of text data type, which is because of the prompt we passed. In conclusion, we have witnessed the incredible potential of ChatGPT in extracting and processing unstructured invoices. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.